Hello. Welcome. Hostess, don't do that. Havana, come here. Here. Yeah. Hop up there where people can see you. Hop up there. Hop up there. Come on. What happened? Here, look. No, 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 no. Okay, no, no, stop. No, no, no. Laugh, laugh, I hope you laugh. I'm doing some more of these. I probably won't do many more, but these little things that came from this book, Joke Lore, there's not a whole lot I can do because some of them are kind of, I want to tell you though, I did not mark this for kids, and this is not really my style, but for me to tell you this story, I have to use a certain word I'm not used to using over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm sorry, Bill, I don't use it. The story's not going to make sense. So you're going to hear me with a term I usually don't use. It's called the Foo Bird. Did you hear? Some of you may have heard this before. Did you hear about the Foo Bird? Well, the Foo Bird lives in the deepest corner of the Amazon in this one region. And there's this old Indian temple. And these archaeologists, there are 3 archaeologists, and they went down to explore this temple. And they recruited some natives to help them. And as they were going through the jungle, they came up on this one section, and the native guide just stopped and said, "We're not going any farther." And the archaeologist said, "Why?" And they said, "Well, because that is the domain of the Foo Bird." And the archaeologist said, "What is a Foo Bird?" And the Indian said it was a powerful bird that flies and is very dangerous. And the archaeologists, they didn't believe that. So they started to go in the Foo Bird area, and this great big bird flies over, and as it does, you can hear the natives saying, "The Foo Bird, the Foo Bird," and the Foo Bird shits. That's the word I don't like to use. The Foo Bird shits, and it lands on one of the archaeologists. Well, the archaeologist wipes it off, and just like any person would wipe off shit from a bird, And as soon as the last bit of shit is off, the archaeologist falls down dead. Dead. So this kind of upsets the other 2 archaeologists. But they are determined to go on and to explore those temples. So after a couple days of exploring the temple, they start on their way back, and about a quarter of the way back, they hear this flapping, big flapping of wings, and see the same kind of bird, a Foo Bird, fly overhead. And it shits, and the shit lands right on one of the archaeologists. So he jumps right into a river, which is right next to where they are walking, and he washes all the foo shit off. And as soon as the last bit of it is all off, he keels over dead. Now he's dead. One left. Well, this really upsets that 3rd archaeologist. And so he's determined he's going to get out of that jungle as fast as he can. So he starts running, and he starts running, and he starts running. And he's almost out of the area where the Foo Bird lives when one flies over him and it's just on him. And he thinks back to what happened to his 2 friends when they washed and they wiped off the shit and they cleaned it off. So he decides to just leave it So he has what he wanted. He has films, he has documents, he has all this other stuff from this long lost temple. And he goes back still worrying of the Foo shit that landed on his head. And he takes everything back, including the Foo shit on his head, to New York City, where he was situated. And he lives a normal life. A normal life is what you can live with a pile of Foo shit on your head. And gradually, the Foo shit wears away. And about 10 years later, he's got just a little tiny speck of Foo shit left on his head. And he's kind of old. So he decides, just the hell with it. He's going to brush off that last little bit of Foo shit. So he brushes off the last bit of the Foo shit. And as soon as he does that, he falls dead. So you know what the moral of the story is. Did the Foo shits wear it? Did the Foo shits wear it?
Don't think I'm being funny when I say you got just what you deserve. I can't help feeling you found out today. You thought you were too good, you had a lot of love. Won't say I'm sorry for the things I've said. I'm glad he packed it
It took me a long time to tell the Foo shit story. As soon as they say laugh, I hope you laugh will stop. That's hard on me. Laugh, I hope you laugh at the Foo shit story. Laugh, I hope you laugh. Bye, goodbye, may Foo shit not fall on your head.